Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. So I just realized that I'm not even super ready for the raids yet. I've been so busy and it's like time has been flying. But with the state of the game, I just have to say congratulations to Massive for doing and making a few smart choices. But still, there's still much work to be done. People that have requested for skill builds have said no skill builds talk from the studio yet, so we need to see some changes to skills and make them more powerful. Now, I do understand some other people say skill builds are in a good place, but for those of you who are skill build players, you know exactly what it is you want. Continue making your voice heard, and I feel like the developers also probably need to do something about it, because if you look at the game, it seems like they've been trying to shift the game to more of a shooter, but that does not in any way satisfy the requirements of the Division 2 itself. It's an RPG style shooter, so the skills part and the way the talents work and the way attributes work make the game different from any other style shooter. So we're happy that they've announced some changes. I'm happy. Some people are still saying that they're not really happy, and I guess we'll just put some things in perspective. They did go back and say that they were not going to get 515 gear as the next gear score. They weren't going to put that out there. And so in my estimation, I think they're doing this because they want to respect the time of the players. Some people already have min-max gear. For them to increase the gear score according to them so early in the game doesn't necessarily make sense. I think after maybe they roll out the year one content map, then that's something that they can do down there. So I think that makes a lot of sense. Some other people have actually expressed concern saying, well, why do I have to play the game? Why do I have to farm only to continue to get 500 gear? Well, that's a valid concern, but at some point, I think World Tier 5 is usually where Massive sets the bar for a lot of their stuff, except they want to go to a World Tier 6, which I think is going to be irrelevant in a sense. There are other things that they can do to reward players and make the game continue to go. A lot of fun things that can be done over the life cycle of the game rather than just increasing gear score. And I'll put some of those things out here in the video. So you look at the way they're keeping the 500 gear score where it is, and some people saying it's a good idea, it's a good move, because your gear is still going to be relevant if you're already maxed out to 500. And if you haven't reached 500, you still know that you're not going to be super left behind. It keeps things well. Those who are really casual have the opportunity to still meet up in the game. Now, I know some people look down at casual players, but you have to understand that casual players are fathers, mothers, people who have responsibilities in their lives and cannot knock out 70 hours in one sitting of the game. So if you're a hardcore player and you can burn a whole bunch of time, deal with it. There are people who also pay the bills of the developers who are actually engaged in other things, and they come to the game whenever they can. It's just the way the community is. You got to be willing to give everybody a shot. No problem with that. Now, another thing too is, if they say they're not going to be giving anything more than 500 gear score, then what are we going to get? Well, I think the gear sets are going to be what we actually get in order for us to have something to farm for. Exotics, gear with new attributes. That by itself better than increasing the gear score. I genuinely think so. So how they're going to implement the exotics, though, is where it's probably going to be an issue for them if they don't do it the right way. The way they've done it before, where you had to farm aspects or components of it by doing the timed invasion rotations, was not necessarily the best execution, because some people were left out. I think they can do that in a way where everybody gets a shot that they can get it. Somebody put an idea out there. I think it was a channel skills 1333. He puts out a lot of good ideas on the division, and he said that the best way they can do it is actually provide a chance for such exotics to drop from a specific maybe boss faction, or you can do a rotation just like the invaded missions. That way people can continue playing if they miss out on the invaded missions and still have the chance to get those exotic items and not feel like they're left behind. One of the things about a live service game is you want to keep your community to continue to play regardless and bring them all together. And then I know some people are, kind of questioning gear sets, but I think gear sets have their place in the game, and they don't want them to because if gear sets are too powerful, just from experience, it's going to render everything else irrelevant, especially the 6-piece classified gear sets. So gear sets have to have a much more specific role and fit in a place where they're so unique to that one task, and if anybody wants to use it, then they want to use it to accomplish one specific role. If you make a gear set that will do the job of Unstoppable Force, or do the job of something like Berserk, that gear set's going to overshadow everything else. We know this from experience. For those of us that are Division 1 players who are saying that the gear sets in the Division 2 suck, yes, they kind of seem like they do suck, but we understand and we know that once these gear sets start to get, too powerful, we're going to throw away all our yellow stuff, and we're not going to even pay attention to them anymore. And so I think the developers are probably looking for a measured way, but I think they should just not have worried about bringing out the gear sets until they had something really solid to provide that will probably not be, that will not overshadow the other gear sets, but will still provide a very valuable tool for anybody that wants to use them, because right now they seem like they're just in the middle of nowhere. And so that's where I think the developers probably made a little bit of an error in judgment on releasing those gear sets. But for now, what I would say, the things I need to do to get ready, which I said I wasn't ready, was I've been planning to finish up my sharpshooter specialization 100%. I'm not at 100%. I think I'm at 100 and something out of 160. So I'll probably be playing to get those specialization points. I have not touched the game in a long time. I've been working on a second YouTube channel, working on some fighting games and all that good stuff. Just kind of a side project that I wanted to test out. I'm a YouTuber, so it's what we do. We test out stuff, and also doing some of these other content that's putting some light on aspects of the gaming scene. But I'm really excited for raids. This is history in the making. The division has never seen a raid before, and regardless of the concerns we may have in the community, I think it's something we need to get excited for. We need to rally around, because this is going to take a lot of teamwork. You're talking about bringing 8 people to do something together per mission, or however long it takes. It's going to be a learning curve. It's going to be a challenge. In some cases, some people may not have microphones. Some people may not be very open to working with 7 other people. I mean, I know that a lot of my work here is helping and discussing, game issues with the solo players, and I understand a lot of how many solo players think. And so some solo players are not going to be too giddy about something like this, but we'll see how it all works out. I feel like some people are open enough to say, all right, let's give it a shot and see exactly how it lands. But all in all, we're right here waiting for this, and I'm really stoked about it. So I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think about Gear Score 515? What do you think about the states of the gear sets right now? What do you think about the new gear items, and maybe even the addition of talents and providing more of a means to get exotics in the overall game? Let me know all of that stuff in the comment section. I'll be responding and looking at comments, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.